A lot of people fasted and prayed for the prophet to come, and I had so many people come to me and say, I didn't get a word, I was believing for a word. I'm just going to share with you how to listen to a prophet minister. I'm going to start in 2 Kings 5. Naaman, a commander of the army of the king of Syria. Now this is, Naaman, a commander of the army, he's the commander of the king of Syria, was a great man with his master. He was accepted and acceptable because by him the Lord had given victory to Syria. He was also a mighty man of war, but he was a leper. I'm going to shoot down here a little bit. So Naaman came with his horses. So Naaman, you got a picture. So Naaman comes. He's a great man of the king. He won this war for Syria. Naaman is coming with his horses and his chariots. And he stopped at Elisha's door, and Elisha sent a messenger to him, saying, go wash in the Jordan 7 times, and your flesh shall be restored to you, and you will be clean. But Naaman was angry and went away and said, behold, I thought he would surely come out to me and stand and call upon the name of his God and wave his hand over the place and heal the leper. And he's saying, aren't these other rivers better than Jordan? Aren't they cleaner? May I not wash in them and be clean? So he turned away and went in rage. And then his servants came to him and said, Father, if the prophet had bid you to do some great thing, would you not have done it? How much rather than when he says, just wash and be clean. The first 10 minutes of Vaughn's tape, the first 10 minutes, there's at least 10 prophecies. Just because he didn't come to you and wave his hand over you or pull you out of the crowd and say something special, which terrifies me at this point, I hide when the prophet comes. Just say something where you are, because he said enough thanks to us over our life. The first one was with Wendy, was spelunkers. The pathway to get to your future goal, is to maneuver through the tight spots. Just take it. Just take it. I remember the first time I heard Vaughn, he told a story about, it was on Prego. It's in there, you know, the commercial about Prego spaghetti sauce. And he was talking about our righteousness, that it's in there. And he told the story about, and he did this. He says, like putting your glasses on your top of your head and you looking for them. Well, my grandmother told that story forever. She looked for a whole day for her glasses, and they were on the top of her head. So when he said that, I heard him. And then we were at the time where Eve was going into school. Everybody knows the story. He didn't call anybody out. He was just ministering, and he said, if you want good Hebrew children, why are you sending them to Egyptian schools? And he went on, but I took it. It was mine. It was the rhema for me. Prophecy number 2, Vaughn, don't do this. He said, don't do this. He burnt too many bridges. He always thought there was something more. If you were asking God for a prophetic word, it came. Would you not have done it if he asked you to do something great? Some of you have burnt too many bridges and you think there's something more. Listen to the prophet. He said, to you, go and be restored. Thank the pastor that you left. If you don't, your ministry will not be long on the earth. That was the first 2 minutes. It said, honor your mother and father. And then he said about the promises, they're going to come to pass whether you believe them or not. What you reap is what you sow. He said, it's for somebody. Someone was believing for a word. He said, I will never leave you or forsake you. That was for somebody. Someone feels like you've been left from God, and he's talking to you. And then he began to speak about taking time over your testimony and mine it like a treasure. Prophecy number 6, mothering is not natural. Let the older women teach the younger. That was for somebody who had been praying for a word from the prophet. He said, you spend too much time praying for your kids and not training them. And then he's standing up here, he keeps going, why am I being nudged about Reuben? Well, he's a prophet. He's speaking to somebody. This wasn't about his message. And thank you, Bill. It's in Genesis 49. Whoever that was for, you need to go and read about Reuben. And his father said, you're strong, but you're as unstable as water. Now, either that was for Reuben or it was for a father. And then he said, I can't believe a father would prophesy that over his son. And I just want to say, whose voice did you look for when the prophet came? Did you look for God's voice or the man's voice? So I suggest everybody go get that DVD and listen through it and listen for the voice of God. Amen? Chris.